Thanks for the invitation. I'm glad to help you. My name is Radovan Bačević, and I work in senior data engineer at DigiLab.com. It's a company from San Francisco. Usually we use open source approach. So yeah, happy to share this with the community. What this is about, this is our use case to try to find a good way how to use, at least to download, and later on to use the Twitter data. As my primary role is to be data engineer, I will show you the very, very easy way how to get the data from the Twitter. You're lucky if you're part of academic community, because in that case, you can use much more versatile data sets. You can go deeper and you can go back, travel back in time. For that reason, I warmly suggest, and I will focus to Twark 2 library for Python, but actually for you, you can consider it as a command line tool. Here is the documentation. Ljubisha and myself will provide you the useful link for all you need and what we are talking about in this session. Actually, Twark 2 is academic library using to download and ingest the data in readable, human readable format for Twitter. As I said, if you're part of academic community, you can go deeper. If not, it's kind of much humble set of data. But what is the good thing here? The good thing here is very simple usage and very powerful filtering. This is the typical command, how you should search into the data. Twark 2, search, archive, go deeper in time, start time, end time, with some limitations. These limits are good because I think 500,000 is the maximum number of tweets you can download in one chunk. And for, let's say, preparation stage, it's very useful to limit to 10, 20, rather than do some kind of huge set of data. And then later on, you can put your search string with and or command. Like our use case was to search for Novak Djokovic. So everything applicable like Djokovic or Novak Djokovic or hashtag Novak Djokovic or Djokovic something or Djokovic saga can be applicable here. And with our statements, you can easily construct your filter. As you said, and part of the command, you can see it, but it's result.json. It can be CSV, but anything can be used for further processing. It was okay. From my point of view, JSON is kind of very good format for this purpose, and we should start easily here. And of course, this project should be fully open source for every one of you. So I will also put this README file, and what we're speaking here, we can do it later on. I will copy actually this command and put it in command line. Just
so please, what's you're using Python, right? Some kind of engine for it.
Yes, that is what I want to say. I use Python as kind of engine, and I skip this step intentionally. Why? Because it's very simple to install Twark 2 library. Why? Because it's just one command.
Yes, that's great, but we need to have this Python. How can we get that engine for Python?
Actually, the first step is we have two requirements. First is download Python from Python file. Go here and say Python download. I'm using development environment here, but actually everything is through command line, despite of your operation system. You can use it Windows, Mac, or Linux. I do everything on Mac OS. Go to Python download and download Python. Really straightforward. That's the first step for you. After that, you should go to Twark 2 official page and do this command. Pip is actually a tool for Python. Allow you to download Python packages. So this Twark 2 is nothing but a package or command line application you should use very easily, as we described earlier. So first step, install Python. Second step, install Twark 2 library or upgrade it if you have the previous version.
Yes, within the Python, right?
Yes, of course. So you should start from the point where you install Twark 2 library. The next step is configure with your credentials. You were very pleasant and share your credentials with me from your Twitter account. So if you go to log into a Twitter account, you're a part of the academic community, you can see APIs you should have. This is a really bulletproof approach because Twark 2 configure option will guide you and ask for this credential. Like, okay, API, this, and that. I don't want to share your credentials with the community because of the security reasons, but you will be guided. How to do that is very simple. Go to Twitter, to your account, go to API option, and you will see credentials you need for this. I configured this in advance for you, just to be quicker here. and then we can move on. So for installation, 3 steps: Python. If you don't have it, get the latest version. Why not? Install Twark2, and last step, Twark2 configure. Then we are ready to use the library.
Yes, we are ready to use the library. So the next step after configuring Twitter AP or Twark2 configure, a step where we just input some data that we got from Twitter. And that's very easy because it's a procedure where you share some of your project ideas and your official email at your institution, from your institution. So this is a procedure that can last for, a couple of hours or maybe a day. And when you get those Twitter API credentials, you're ready for these steps which you explain. We are not going through the configuration because it's security sensitive, as you said. And
Yes.
now you can start explaining from that point when we configured these Twitter credentials, when we made these kind of inputs inside the Twark.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for that, because you did it for me. I mean, you get credentials and then I just put this configuration here local in my machine. If you want to do it on cloud, you need to configure it there. But anyway, for this purpose, it's enough to configure it once locally. And then I don't need to repeat, because this will be saved in a secure way. So I just need to call the library and my account will be recognized. Like if you want to save credentials on Twitter, Facebook, any other site. So as I said, what we need to do is to run the library from the command line. So if you're in Python, what should I do? Okay, Ljubisha, as any.
Okay, so we want to get tweets from one date to another date. And there is a limit in the tweets that we want to get. It's like 500,000. And the keywords are related to Novak Djokovic, a tennis player.
In this case, it's your name. Just I'm curious about what people are thinking about you for this purpose. Later on, we'll move to Novak Djokovic and our use case. Just a quick exercise for warming up. You perfectly guessed, it's really descriptive here. Twark2, search, archive, start date, end date, limitation. I just want to pull the network too much at this moment, and I will search for Ljubisha Vojic, or I can search for something else. But let's stick with only Ljubisha. And I want to save my results as result.json file in JSON format. So I will copy, I will paste it here.
Just a moment, please.
Yep.
What about territories that we want to gather posts from? Can we configure that?
I'm not sure because I didn't check location here. What you can do, or geo coordinates. Yes, there are many options here, but I didn't figure out for this demo. Why? Because it's easily just to say places. So you can see Serbia, Western Europe, US, whatever. As I said, didn't go deep in details. On the other side, when you download all you need, you will see the geo or country or territory inside your JSON file per each tweet. So you can filter out the data later on down the road. But it is up to you to decide. From my point of view, yeah, this makes sense because I want to filter out only certain region or country or territory or part of the world, whatever. And then you can include this in your search. As I said, there are plenty of options here. Hyphen, places, US, Japan, China, whatever.
Because this can be very useful for research. Usually we do a research related to some country, and maybe can you input this into the line as well, if it is possible to do that now? Just for example, to get the data from that one date to another date, from United States of America, for example, or from Australia, about Novak, tweets about Novak, for example, because there are no tweets about me. Or maybe you can stick with my name and go and search for Serbia, for example.
Yeah, why not? Good thing is, as per documentation, I warmly suggest all of you to go through documentation, because here you see its place with plenty of options. Why? You can search by name, by geolocation, by IP. So we can be very strict. And also as well, you can focus on granularity, neighborhood, city, admin part, or country. So you can target Sydney or Canberra in Australia, right? As I said,
okay,
never touch this, but we'll go.
Let's go for Serbia, country, and my name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
Does the change the line?
Mm-hmm.
So we can know.
Let's
how
see.
Can we do that?
Type places. Type is Serbia and granularity is country, right?
Yes.
Is this okay?
Yes, it looks great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No set option. Type name.
Maybe there are no tweets about me or mentioning my name, except
actually,
on my Twitter account.
It is a mismatch about the places, so we'll try it like this. We'll start with global options. Later on, we can do fine tuning for this. No, what is that? Search archive start.
Why don't we try Novak? Because there are plenty tweets about.
No, sorry.
Him.
No. It's my bad. Command is generated inappropriately. Places. Let me see. Start time. I would promise I can look at this later on and maybe just to wrap it up for you, because I'm not sure how to design this now at the moment. So don't waste too much of time. But yeah, it's possible to do like this. So probably if I type, where are you? Part 2, help. We can see what's going on. And place. Aha, sorry. Search for places by place name. But here, if we go with search, we are searching for tweets. And I'm not sure do we have that option. But anyway, later on in the file, we can do a filtering on the fly down the road for our analysis. So I will promise I will sort it out in the documentation. Is it okay?
Yes. We can comment that in the documentation, right?
Yes.
Right.
We'll note that.
Let's
sure,
go with the basic thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start for warm up.
Let's
As I said,
try that one.
Part 2. Then I want to search for tweets in archive. Start and end date are defined as a time frame with some limitations to 50 or even 20 tweets. Search for Ljubica Bojic and store everything in result.json file. Boom, press it. And it's kind of very quick, I would say. Yeah, we're done. Then what I want to see, my results. I will open it in any editor by your choice. I use Visual Code, which is great, and I can format it well. So what you can see here is data, mentions, URLs, all details about the tweets. And also, let's see, do we have geo? Oh. Yeah. So here you see geolocation place ID, and you can combine places by geolocation, so you can decode from where this has been sent, from which territory, which country, which neighborhood, or which city. So this is also.
Well, it's better to do that in the command line if that's possible, but I know we can filter these things out if you're really capable to do that in our Python skills.
yeah, but this is very humble. You need very humble skills, not even in Python. It's just type a command line. Just build in Python. So without knowing any single command in Python, you are able to do that. Of course, for advanced lookup, to get the geocoding, you need some skills to combine two JSON files. But at this stage, if you're interested for some term or anything, you can do that. But yeah, it's possible. We have this geoplace ID, which we can easily look up using places. So we search for tweets here. So that's the, let's say, the easiest example for us. Let me remove this. And yeah, we are ready for some kind of heavy lifting here. And it's regarding our core use case here. I use double quotes. Everything is the same or almost the same, except I use "or" keyword here because I want to search for Djokovic or Novak Djokovic or hashtag Novak Djokovic or hashtag Djokovic or Djokovic saga. So I will include 5-6 terms here with "or" statement. Also, I can put "and", I can put brackets. I can do a more complex search here. So it's up to you to decide what you want to fetch. It's hard to hit everything with one hashtag. It's not 100% accurate. You're working with kind of unstructured or semi-structured data here. There is no strong structure. So I warmly suggest to generate the search term as you want and generate the filter in the best way for your purposes. And also I want to say, save everything in result.json. So what we can do is just execute this command. Also, this command can be incorporated in some other software for visualization, for machine learning, for anything you want, you name it. And then later on, that result.json can be processed further down the road. So if I go here and say code and open the file, I will get other set of data. Probably you're not here, it's not you anymore, Ljubisha, it's more Joker Nole or Novak Djokovic or something. And also you can see the full data point for one tweet. And here is I don't know, 20 tweets or something. And also, yes, this is interesting. Location Vienna, it can be found here. If someone reveals the location explicitly and said, okay, I'm sitting in Vienna, in Austria, it will be visible here. If not, you can do some other.
I think these results are connected to me. Are you sure this is about Novak?
Yeah, you're right. This is old file. Sorry, I won't save it. What you're doing in Vienna?
Well, we are having some conference, a workshop on power in tech era, or AI and big tech companies and relationship between power between these two. So we're going to talk in Vienna at Central European University. It's going to be interesting.
Oh yeah. So bottom line is our search are okay, right? We are on the right track.
Melbourne, Victoria. That looks like Novak.
Yeah, it's not really regarding you. Yeah, I just forget to refresh the file. So my bad. See? So in most of the cases, we have location, which is good for you because you told me in our use case, we need to divide or separate per location, right? And also, I just want to show you here how it's easy to separate search or tweets. In some other use cases, maybe you want to have everything in one bunch, in one file, and then later on just filter it out. So this is
how many tweets we have there?
For now, we have, I think, let me check.
We made a living.
50. Here is
50
the
tweets. And
yes.
Can we just see one tweet? Let's read one tweet to see everything is fine.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Let's return to the file.
Let's start from the bottom, from the top.
For example, one tweet would be.
Here is our tweet. It started here and ended here.
So this is a really long string for one tweet, right?
Yes. Why? Because there is a many data points invisible for the author of the tweet. You just put your text and press save, and it's visible for the rest of the world for all Twitter accounts or some limitations. Doesn't matter. In behind, and Twitter pick up all data points regarding geocoding, position, your device, location, some other things, hashtags, and so on and so on. So actually, here you have plenty of information you can proceed further, not only the text of the tweet. Because here, actually, this is what is visible for end user.
Yeah, so this is just something about Nick Kyrgios says tennis is dying after embracing Roger, something like that. So it's there is a tweet. We can see that it's like text in brackets and the tweet is there.
Yes, exactly. And along with that, beyond that, there is plenty of information regarding about entities, domains, and context. You get the wider context in this data point. You can consider one tweet as a data point with text, with location, with some metadata, and also with some connected things. So you can easily get the full picture on the top of that.
Yeah, so this is the material, the file that we can, JSON file, as you say, that
Yes.
we can later import into another software or do some kind of processing by, if we know some skills for that.
Exactly.
Right?
No, sorry for
Python.
interrupt. Exactly.
Yeah.
This is the file prepared for you. What you will do with that is up to you. It's a great possibility or great opportunity to do many analytics. As you can see here, you can see a matrix for this tweet. You can see I say something and I have 100 tweets, retweets, or I have 10 replies, or I have counts of views, numerous numbers of that. As per that, you can do count on something like, okay, if I write something bad about Djokovic, I will get 1,000 replies. Or if I say something good about Djokovic, I will get more or less than that. So it's up to you how to, what you want to measure actually, what you want to analyze. So, but there are many, many things here. And also you can see this is a retweet on the original tweet. You can see, okay, is it retweet or it is original tweet or it's shared, whatever you want to do, everything is visible for you. So this is a kind of structure provided the blood picture of each particular tweet, not only the text. These hidden data points can be really, really valuable for the analytics purposes. And as I said, the JSON file is here for you, ready. You can do and process it down the road. The main purpose of this tool is to retrieve the data for you.
Okay, that's great. It's done, and maybe the next time we can think about some apps and that can be used for processing the data and getting some kind of sentiment. I think that you sent me some information about that as well. Open software solutions for this, right?
Exactly.
So there are options for that as well. Scientist, social scientist does not have to know these coding skills, right?
Yes, the main point is data is available to everyone. It, as I said, very humble skills in command line. With a couple of commands, you can retrieve the data. That's one thing. And you should focus on your business use case. The second thing is there are plenty also of tools can easily visualize your data set. I found this Streamlint.io. It's acquired by Snowflake company, and it's really great. Why? Because in declarative way, you should define your data source, data set, this command, and it will be visualized for you. Take a look. It's also in documentation, and maybe you can be inspired how easy it can be to create your visual application. Why? Because you want to provide the story and tell the story to the end users, customers, your colleagues, or maybe to you. So what you can do is to go to Streamline, insert your data, and then using some drag and drop without any coding skills, as I said, you focus on your business and create a great story and great visualization inside this tool. And of course, it can be automated later on. But with some quick demo, quick prototype, there are many options. Depends what you like to use. So in these days, with small help of your friends, you can use this Twark2 library. You get the data and visualize this data. So you can do end-to-end process without knowing the technical details, how something is built or try to code something. Of course, it's always helpful to know how things are working, but still, as I said, on the low level, you can create great stuff.
Okay, so I think that's cool for now. But maybe the next time we can go through some apps that can be useful in processing the Twitter data. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm fully for that option. As I said, we have two parts. Get the data, process the data, and let's say additional third parties to tell the story with this data. So yeah, this we covered the first part here. Second part is to process and visualize the data. I think we can do it in one hit. So yeah, let's leave it for the next stage. And as I said, what I promised already before in the session is to try to wrap up this and try to filter data in some additional way using some different contests like geolocation, maybe some retweets, filtering about counts, give me tweets with more than 100 replies or likes because it's more relevant and things like that. Without that, it's also easy to do the thing. But yeah, let's keep the next session to try to visualize what we have here. And it will be great exercise for us to understand, is it possible, and to prove, is it possible to create a great story without knowing the coding? Is it okay for you?
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Thank you very much for sharing this knowledge that can be useful for our colleagues around the world. And it's certainly useful for us and the science and the papers that we plan to do at the Digital Society Lab at the Institute for Philosophy and Social Theory, University of Belgrade. Thank you very much again, and have a great day.
Thank you, Ljubisha. Eager to help, and also anything you need, you can easily find me LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Medium, anywhere. Just ping. Okay. We'll be happy to help. Thank you.
Great.
Bye-bye. Ciao.